Everyone was there, at the large park. Nearby were the ball fields and tennis courts, and to the east was the combination police, fire, and administration building. But I'm talking about the large field behind the building, and right before Lake Cook Road. In the field, picnic blankets laid out like tiny rafts, and sitting on them were whole families, husbands, wives, kids. It was 1976, so that was how it was. The excitement in the air popped like kernels of corn as we all faced the road and the golf course where the fireworks lay dormant, for now. American flags were everywhere. None were waving, however. There was just a slight whisper of a breeze, so the flags just slapped, waiting like the rest of us for the nighttime celebration. It was early evening, not too hot, everything a little more than just right. It was the bicentennial, 1976, last suburb, Illinois. Last suburb was on the outskirts of Chicago. It was a newly built haven of subdivisions. Last suburb was bordered by older suburbs nearer to the city, of course, but to the north and west, all farmlands and forests. That was my frontier, my adventure and danger. I loved to walk on this one dirt road, Nichols Lane, and one time thousands of caterpillars emerged from their cocoons in this small tree, and I kneeled down to watch them march across the dirt road just to reach the other side. And when I stood, I was careful not to step on a single one. And when I finally reached the end of the road, there was the Honeywell corporate headquarters. I imagined it was the last outpost of civilization that laid claim to things I didn't think much about at age 9. I grew up on a standard street in a standard colonial home with a basketball hoop in the driveway and 2 cats and an older brother and sister. Across the street laid the baseball diamond, a concrete court surrounded by a half moon of houses. In the court, we would play baseball, kickball, any kind of game, really. And I remember finding out later that the husband of one house in the court was having an affair with the wife in another house. Buffalo Creek cut through the forest to the northwest of my home. I pretended I was exploring, checking under rocks, climbing trees. Once, though, this cool but unpredictable older kid I was smitten with and his friend made me walk in the middle of the creek during the Illinois winter, causing near frostbite of my toes. The creek and its near isolation made life hostile, but thrilling. One time, a construction crew left a massive mound of dirt that after my friend and I struggled to reach the summit of, we had our first and my only cigarette. On that July 4th, as it got dark, we played Ghosts in the Graveyard in St. Mary's Cemetery, though I wasn't Catholic, which just seemed to increase this thrilling terror. When suddenly the fireworks erupted and the glory of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness glowed within me, cementing the America I knew. Summer, 1976, the bicentennial. On that night, I didn't realize this then, but soon enough I did, was how we all looked similar, and seemingly all smiles. Almost 50 years later, on this chilly winter's afternoon just before the dusk comes, I walk across the field, now desolate, forgotten, ignored. I descend further down, and each step seems like its own separate memory on this open field of rolling hills and small clumps of trees among grassland, gently covered with snow. And I wonder about what we celebrate.